What's going on, everybody? Figured it was time for a little TLC on my Losi XXL. This truck has, I don't know, I went to use it the other day and I don't know. It just, it's been, I wouldn't say forgot about, but with all the fun I'm having with the fifth scales, this truck kind of got put on the back burner for a while. The last video that I made with it, I did post that video of shaking off the cobwebs with the truck. I went to go use the truck about 2 weeks later and I couldn't hit second gear and I couldn't figure out why. And I just left it alone and figured, I probably just need to adjust the clutch. I went to go use it again the other day and still couldn't hit second gear. So I decided to take the spur gear off, or the cover, and my high-speed gear was just missing, just completely shredded. I don't know how I did it. I don't know when I did it, but apparently I did it. So it's time to change it. On top of that, the truck comes with the 3300T Spectrum receiver. Basically, it's a 3-channel telemetry-ready receiver. Well, apparently that decided to say, I'm not working anymore. So I have to pop a new receiver in. But if you're anything like me, you have multiple receivers lying around your house everywhere, because everything in my house is controlled by a Spectrum radio. The only thing is, it will no longer be a, it won't have this telemetry features anymore for now. So, I mean, I'm alright with that. Eventually, if I ever decide, I can always get, I can always get another receiver. But for now, I am just going to put in, let's see if I can have it on display. It's right above me. It's just a Spectrum SR210. Actually, I realized I couldn't, wait a minute. I can't even use this receiver in my truck. I thought it was a 3-channel. Apparently, it's only a 2-channel. This receiver will be no bueno in the truck. I can use it, I just couldn't operate forward and reverse. So going to have to come up with a new idea. But we'll figure that out down the road. So with that said, let's get this party started. We're going to replace the little gear that lives right in there. I had already previously loosened the screws. And you can see this truck needs a douche. But I use the truck. I enjoy it. I beat it up. And it always comes back for more. As far as changes in the truck, I don't have a lot of changes. I have sway bars, have a back wing, full aluminum shocks with plastic caps. I probably should put aluminum shock caps on it, but I've had nothing but good luck with those, so I'm going to keep that setup. I do have the stock engine in it. Again, I'm happy with the stock. I could go for an LRP 32, but again, you know, whatever. I'm okay with this setup. Stock HT pipe. I do have the heavy duty skid plates, front, rear, and middle, which I kind of like because it comes up and protects the bottom of the skid plate. And on the opposite side, it actually goes and protects the entire exhaust pipe. With that said, we're just going to do a little bit of replacement. I'm going to try to do this video in real time. It's not like stripping down a fifth scale. This is actually very quick and easy to work on these trucks. Actually, most Losi vehicles are primarily fairly straightforward with working on them. Everything is laid out very nice. And if you worked on one LST, you've worked on every LST. The only difference between the XXL is it's stretched. It's a little bit, the chassis, overall chassis, I think it's like an inch or 2-inch longer wheelbase. Basically the same thing between a Savage and a Savage XL. Same principle. So theoretically, if you have, there's 2 sets of gears. One would be for the LST and aftershock. The other set of gears is for the LST2. This truck primarily uses the LST2 because the hubs are bigger on the 2-speed setup, even though the clutch packs remain the same. So there's the offending article, number 2 gear. Actually, I might not be able to do this in real time, guys, because it appears that I haven't worked on this truck in so long. I forgot what is needed. I need to grab myself a pair of snap-ring pliers. I will be right back. All right, got my snap-ring pliers. Just take your snap-ring pliers, and you just want to release the ring. And instead of focusing on the camera, let me focus on the tool. And snap ring's off. Get a pair of snap ring pliers. And if you're used to working on the Losi 5T, so the reason why you have to take this high-speed gear off, or sorry, the low-speed gear off, is that the high-speed gear has to come off the hub and has to pull that way because the bolts are on the back side. If you've ever worked on a 5T or any fifth scale truck, all of the nuts and bolts on a fifth scale are metric. On the LSTs, they're all SAE, so make sure you have a selection of both. One thing I am very happy that I use a lot, especially for these trucks, is my Team Integy Allen drivers. They're great. They're comfortable. They have a good grip, and if the shaft breaks, the shaft is fully replaceable. Or if you release that set screw, and you can change the whole. You change the whole Allen head itself without having to replace the tool. I think I bought these about 10 years ago, and there's doing this off camera. What am I doing here? And release that. And there's just 3 screws that hold it on. They're 1/16 screws, button head screws that go on the back of the hub. And then just take your high speed and just slide it right off the hub. And there's one gear trashed. New gear. There's a gear. Slide it on, and is the 63 tooth. There is 3 larger holes and 3 larger holes and 3 smaller holes. The smaller holes are for the bolts. The larger holes are actually for these dowels, and that actually aligns it. So you slide it over your hub, and then just key it in with these dowels, and it kind of it locks in. And then you just take your 3 1/16 head button head screws from the back. Sorry for my big hand in the way. And just slide it all together. Apparently. Well, apparently my Team Integy driver needs to be changed because I'll just stick with my regular Allen's, my backup set, which is on an old ratchet where I have an assortment of sizes. So anyway, back to basics. Okay, now again it's time to install the high gear. Same thing. It has 3 holes and 3 dowels. That's just going to push on, and you'll feel it kind of pop in when and you're set. It's in. You can see now. You can see where the snap ring has to go. I mean, you could try to fight this into place, but just pick yourself up a set of snap ring pliers. You can pretty much get them anywhere for a cheap set. And then just pop back on the snap ring, hold your high-speed gear in place. And pretty much that is the setup for changing out your gearing for the 2-speed on the Losi LST XXL, or it would be this way on an Aftershock or an LST. The difference is the gears are a little bit different. They won't be held on with a snap ring. I haven't done a set of those in a while. I forget how those are actually on. I don't remember if they're both in or not. But so now we're going to take our gear and put it back into the clutch packs. And while I'm here, I'm just going to take a look at my clutch packs, and they're actually in really good shape. And while this is actually a good chance to check this, check bearing play in the end of your clutch bell. I actually go through bearings quite often in this, but they're actually, I just recently changed these. Well, not recently, but the last time I ran, I put a fresh set of bearings in. I actually picked up a tube of bearings for the truck, so I can change them as I see fit. The way that it goes into the clutch pack is, again, it's key weight in there. So the easiest way to do it is almost the same process of putting in a excuse me, I'm starting to get a cold here. Of putting in a torque converter in an automatic transmission. You can push on it all day long. It's not going to go in. Just kind of turn and push as you go in, and you can see that it just pops in. I'll do that again. Pull it out, and you can push on it. Nothing. But you start turning it, it just falls right into play because you're lining all those clutches in. And now you can see that it's level. You can tell that the level because now everything is the same dimension, same height. It's flush, so you know it's perfectly set when those gears are flush. When you go to put your gears back on, to hold them back on, there's 3 washers. You have your large washer, that goes on first. Then you have your thrust washer, which I lost. But your thrust washer, I'm going to have to put new bearings in those. I'll be rebuilding this soon. Put that in. And then the small washer that goes over the thrust washer. That slides on. And then so much crap in here. It's unbelievable how much stuff I have in here. I got the rebuild kit in my drawer, but I got so much stuff between the Baja, the 5T, and all the other trucks. And then you're going to take your spring, slide it on. Then you're going to take your lock nut, slide it on. Now, there's many different settings you can do to, excuse me, that you can do to adjust your slipper clutch. It depends on how you want to drive. If you want it to slip, do you not want it to slip, whatever. Ideally, what you would do is you tighten it down until the spring is compressed. And then if you want like no slippage whatsoever and you want to put maximum power down, I would back off like a quarter of a turn. If you want a lot of slippage and you want to sacrifice your gears because, but then again, that's not me because I want to put all the power down, you can back out a half to 3/4 of a turn, and that would still allow you to put the power down, but allow you to have some type of slippage with the truck. For me, I don't go that route. I like to have it tightened just until the spring collapses, and then just back off a quarter of a turn. So I pretty much almost, I wouldn't say eliminate my slipper clutch, but I like to put the power down. I like to be able to, do wheelies and accelerate without slipping my clutch. Because actually slipping your clutch could be even worse than not slipping your clutch, because you burn that thing up and that's it. You're not moving. You're replacing the whole clutch pack. But that's it. This was just a quick installation of the high-speed gear of the Losi XXL. Basically just trying to get some stuff ironed out to make sure all of my vehicles are ready to roll. And another reason why I'm doing this on camera is because everyone seems to be almost afraid of nitro vehicles. I mean, not so much afraid, but it's almost from when I started in the hobby till now, nitro vehicles they just kind of feel like they're a dying art. Like everyone doesn't want anything to do with them. They neither want electric or they want gas. And I will say one thing, I've owned all of them. And I do have some electrics. As much as some people don't like to hear that. Unfortunately, I mean, I kind of like the hobby for the hobby. Electrics can be fun, but I've always had nitros, and I always will have nitros. Because, again, electrics are fun. They're fast, they're fun, they're exciting, but you don't get the smell, you don't get the sound, you just don't get that, like, noise that you would with an electric. But that's it. It's just a quick installation of the Losi LST gear, high-speed gear on my XXL. Talk to you guys later.